Ambassador ZYXDAR of the Galactic Council had witnessed many things in his 347 standard years of diplomatic service. He had negotiated peace between the crystalline Vortak and the gaseous nebulites. He had mediated trade disputes that spanned 17 star systems. He had even survived the infamous spice wars of the Outer Rim. But nothing, absolutely nothing, had prepared him for humanity. The emergency session had been called after the third incident in as many standard months. The holographic displays around the circular chamber showed the aftermath. A space station converted into what humans called a slip-and-slide, a black hole that had been somehow redirected to spell out rude words in 3 different galactic languages, and most recently, an entire moon that had been carved into the shape of what humans termed a rubber duck. The pattern is undeniable, ZYXDAR announced, his 4 arms gesticulating wildly as he addressed the assembled representatives. Each catastrophic event was preceded by the same phrase in the human language. "Hold my beer." The Tritonian delegate, her scales shimmering with anxiety, raised a webbed hand. Surely this is coincidence. No species could be so consistently reckless. I thought so too, ZYXDAR replied, activating another hologram, until our xenolinguistic analysis department made a startling discovery. The phrase "hold my beer" appears in human historical records over 47,000 times in connection with what they call legendary stupidity, or epic fails, or sometimes, disturbingly, "That was totally worth it, dude." A collective shudder ran through the assembly. The linguistic analysis suggests, ZYXDAR continued, that this phrase serves as both a warning and a challenge among humans. It indicates that the speaker is about to attempt something that violates one or more laws of physics, common sense, or galactic safety protocols. Elder Corvash of the Ancient Ones, whose species had observed the rise and fall of civilizations for millennia, spoke in his creaky voice. In all our years of watching the cosmos, we have never encountered a species that treats danger as entertainment. That's just it, ZYXDAR said, his voice dropping to a whisper that somehow carried throughout the chamber. Our psychological analysis team believes that humans don't just ignore danger, they are actively attracted to it. They have something they call adrenaline junkies, individuals who seek increasingly dangerous activities for the mere sensation it provides. The hive mind of Zirian, speaking through their current avatar, buzzed with concern. This explains the incident with human Jake Thompson, who attempted to surf on a solar flare. The energy readings suggested it should have been impossible for any organic matter to survive. Yet he emerged asking if anyone had gotten that on camera. Precisely, ZYXDAR nodded. Which brings me to the reason for this emergency session. Our quantum prediction algorithms have identified a concerning pattern. Every time a human says, "hold my beer," the probability of a galaxy-threatening event increases by 347%. The chamber erupted in panic chittering, whistling, and various other sounds of distress. "Order! Order!" ZYXDAR called out. "There's more." The AI systems monitoring human communications have detected a 23% increase in the phrase's usage over the past cycle. If our calculations are correct, we may be facing what humans themselves call the big one. Representative Kildor from the Peaceful Systems Alliance asked, "What do you propose we do?" ZYXDAR activated the final hologram, a complex flowchart that would have given an accountant nightmares. "I propose the implementation of the Hold My Beer protocol. Anytime this phrase is detected in human communication, we automatically raise the galactic threat level to maximum and deploy containment teams to limit the collateral damage." "You mean, we're going to base our entire defense strategy around a human drinking phrase?" squeaked the diminutive delegate from Zorblax Prime. "Not just any phrase," ZYXDAR corrected grimly. "The most dangerous phrase in the known universe." The vote was unanimous. 3 weeks after the implementation of the Hold My Beer protocol, Galactic Defense Station Omega 7 hummed with its usual quiet efficiency. Commander Veltar was reviewing routine patrol reports when every alarm in the facility began screaming at once. "Report!" he barked, his tentacles flying over the control interfaces. "Sir," called out Lieutenant Fricks from the communications array. "We've detected the phrase." sir. Code phrase detected from the human vessel Saturday Night Special in the Rigel sector. The massive viewscreen flickered to life, showing the intercepted transmission. A human male with an impressive beard and wearing what appeared to be a shirt that said, "Physics is merely a suggestion," looked directly into the camera. "Hey y'all, this is Captain Rex Boomer Rodriguez aboard the Saturday Night Special. We're about to attempt something that NASA said was impossible. The Galactic Council called inadvisable, and my wife described as grounds for divorce. Jimmy, hold my beer." The transmission cut out. "Analysis," Commander Veltar demanded. "Sir, the Saturday Night Special is a modified cargo hauler currently positioned near the Rigel binary star system. Energy readings suggest they've installed some kind of improvised propulsion system. Define improvised. Sir, they appear to have strapped 17 different types of engines to their ship, including at least 3 that we don't recognize and one that our database indicates was discontinued for being too dangerous to exist." Commander Veltar felt his heart skip a beat. "Estimated threat level? Unknown, sir." The quantum probability matrix just returned an error message that roughly translates, "You've got to be kidding me. Deploy the emergency containment fleet, full spread, and someone get me a direct line to their ship." The communication array crackled to life. "Saturday Night Special, this is Galactic Defense Station Omega 7. You are ordered to power down your engines and prepare to be boarded." The response came back immediately. "That's a big negative, space friends. We're about to make history, or at least a really, really big crater. Captain Rodriguez, you don't understand. Our analysis indicates your current course of action has a 97.3% chance of creating a cascading gravitational anomaly that could destabilize the entire sector." There was a pause. Then, "So you're saying there's a chance it might not?" Before Commander Veltar could respond, the Saturday Night Special vanished from sensors in a flash of light that temporarily blinded half the long-range arrays. "Report!" he shouted over the chaos. "Sir, they appear to have engaged their improvised propulsion system. Sir, they're moving at roughly 847% of maximum safe hyperspace velocity." "That's impossible." "Yes, sir. The humans appear to have found a way to make their ship exceed the speed of light by sheer stubbornness." "Track them. Where are they heading?" "Sir, based on their trajectory, they appear to be attempting to use the binary stars as a gravitational slingshot to achieve what they're calling ludicrous speed." Commander Veltar watched in horrified fascination as the human vessel approached the twin stars, somehow maintaining structural integrity despite forces that should have turned it into component atoms. "Sir," Lieutenant Fricks called out, his voice trembling, "they're hailing us. Put them through." The view screen crackled to life, showing Captain Rodriguez's grinning face against a background of warning lights and what appeared to be a disco ball. "Omega 7, you beautiful alien bastards, you need to see this. We just achieved something that according to physics should be impossible, but according to humans is pretty rad. Captain, what exactly have you achieved?" "We've created the galaxy's first artificial wormhole powered entirely by concentrated stupidity and raw determination. We're calling it the Yeehaw Drive. Want to see where it goes?" "Captain, no. Do not." But the Saturday Night Special was already gone, vanished into a swirling vortex of spacetime that played what sounded distinctly like banjo music before collapsing in on itself. Commander Veltar slumped in his command chair. "Status report. Sir, the gravitational anomaly appears to be stable. No damage to surrounding systems. However, sir, we're receiving a transmission from the Andromeda Galaxy. It appears to be Captain Rodriguez apologizing for dropping in unannounced and asking if anyone knows the way back." Commander Veltar looked at his crew. "Gentlemen, I believe we're going to need a bigger protocol." 6 months after the Saturday Night Special incident, the Galactic Council had established the Department of Human Affairs, DHA, a specialized agency dedicated solely to monitoring and containing what officials euphemistically called enthusiastic human creativity. Director Keelthera, a veteran of 17 interstellar conflicts, had volunteered for the position thinking it would be a quiet way to spend her final years before retirement. She was beginning to suspect the universe had a sense of humor. "Ma'am," her aide, a nervous Plutosian named Flib, scurried into her office clutching a data pad. "We have a situation. Scale of 1 to hold my beer?" "Ma'am, it's a 12. Director Keelthera felt her left eye twitch. The hold my beer scale officially only went to 10. "Show me." The main display activated, revealing a human space station that looked like someone had taken 3 different architectural styles, welded them together, and then added racing stripes. The nameplate read Jackass Station, where common sense goes to die. The station is registered to someone calling himself Dr. Mad Dog Murphy, a human engineer who was apparently kicked out of the Terran Engineering Corps for excessive enthusiasm and criminal disregard for the structural limits of matter. What's he building? "Ma'am, according to intercepted communications, he's attempting to construct what he calls a universe router." Keelthera stared at the display. "I'm going to regret asking this, but what exactly is a universe router?" Flib consulted his data pad with trembling appendages. "Based on the technical specifications we've managed to decode, it appears to be a device designed to connect all parallel universes for easy access and maximum chaos. His stated goal is to throw the biggest interdimensional party in the history of everything. And this requires harvesting dark energy from approximately 17 black holes, creating a stable transdimensional bridge, and what his notes describe as a really, really long extension cord." The director felt a familiar pain behind her ocular sensors. "Tell me we haven't detected the phrase yet." "Ma'am, Dr. Murphy has been broadcasting continuously for the past 3 hours. He's invited everyone in this boring universe to watch what he calls the most epic hold my beer moment in cosmic history. Deploy everything. I want every containment ship we have surrounding that station. And get me a direct line to Earth's government." "Ma'am, Earth's government says they've already disavowed all knowledge of Dr. Murphy and officially classified him as not our problem anymore." "Of course they did." Keelthera activated her personal communication array. "This is Director Keelthera of the DHA to all units. Priority Alpha situation. We have a Cosmic Class Hold My Beer event in progress." The response came immediately from Captain Zorth of the Containment Fleet. "Director, we're in position, but our weapons can't penetrate whatever he's built that thing out of." "What do you mean?" "Ma'am, our scans indicate the station is constructed from materials that shouldn't exist. Steel that's somehow more steel-like than normal steel, titanium that's been double dog-dared to be stronger, and what appears to be concrete mixed with human stubbornness." On the display, Jackass Station began to glow with an ominous purple light. "Ma'am," Flib squeaked. "Incoming transmission from the station." Dr. Mad Dog Murphy appeared on screen, wearing what could only be described as a lab coat covered in explosions and a hard hat that had "Safety Third" written on it. Behind him, impossible machinery whirred and sparked. "Howdy, space bureaucrats. Dr. Mad Dog Murphy here with an announcement that's gonna knock your socks off. Assuming you wear socks, which statistically speaking, most of you probably don't. I'm about to do something that every intelligent species in the galaxy has probably thought about but been too sensible to attempt." "Dr. Murphy," Keelthera interrupted. "You need to cease your current activities immediately. Our analysis suggests." "Hold up there, tentacle lady. Analysis is for quitters. I've got 17 Ph.D.S., 43 patents for things that shouldn't work but do, and a personal guarantee from the laws of physics that this is impossible. Which, as any human will tell you, just makes it more interesting." "Doctor, please." "Nah, I've come too far to stop now. Besides, I've already said the magic words." Murphy turned to someone off-screen. "Billy Bob, hold my beer." The universe held its breath. The purple glow around Jackass Station intensified, and reality began to hiccup. Space-time rippled like water, and for a moment, everyone watching could swear they saw other versions of themselves looking back. Then, with a sound like cosmic Velcro being ripped apart, a hole opened in the fabric of existence itself, and something looked through. "Well, howdy there, neighbor. Dr. Murphy called out cheerfully. "Welcome to our dimension. Y'all are just in time for the party." What looked back was another Dr. Murphy, identical except for a goatee and a lab coat that read "Safety Fourth." "Hot damn!" called the alternate Murphy. "This is the universe where I succeeded. Billy Bob, you're not gonna believe this." Director Kilthara slowly placed her head in her hands as she watched two versions of the same impossibly reckless human begin comparing notes on interdimensional engineering. "Ma'am," Flib whispered, "should I upgrade this to a 13? "Flib," she said quietly, "I don't think our scale goes high enough." The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened in the deepest, most heavily shielded bunker in Council space. What had started as a single interdimensional portal had, in the span of 72 hours, become what the humans cheerfully called UniverseCon, the ultimate crossover event. Director Kilthara stood before the assembled representatives, her usual composure replaced by what could only be described as shell shock. Behind her, the main display showed a constantly updating count of active dimensional breaches. Current count, 847,291 and climbing. "Honorable delegates," she began, her voice carrying the weight of cosmic exhaustion. "We are no longer dealing with a single reckless human. We are dealing with infinite reckless humans from infinite dimensions, all of whom seem to think this situation is, and I quote, the most awesome thing ever." The Tritonian delegates' scales had gone completely white. How is this possible? According to our analysis team, what's left of them after 3 nervous breakdowns and 2 requests for immediate retirement. Each Dr. Murphy from each dimension has been improving upon the original design. They've created what they call a bootstrap cascade of awesome, where each successful portal makes it easier to open more portals. Ambassador Zoexter, now sporting a nervous tick in 3 of his eyes, asked, "What are they doing?" Director Kilthara activated a new display showing footage from the expanding interdimensional zone. Multiple versions of Jackass Station had been linked together in an impossible architectural nightmare that seemed to mock the very concept of structural engineering. Humans from dozens of dimensions swarmed over the construction, apparently building something that defied classification. They appear to be constructing what they call the ultimate hold-my-beer machine. "I'm afraid to ask," wheezed Elder Corvash, "but what does it do?" According to intercepted communications, it's designed to simultaneously execute every hold-my-beer idea that has ever been conceived across all possible dimensions. Their goal, as stated by the apparent leader, a Dr. Murphy who seems to have a PhD in theoretical impossibility, is to do all the things that shouldn't be done all at once and see what happens. The chamber filled with sounds of distress that spanned 17 different languages and several that linguists hadn't even cataloged yet. "There's more," Director Kilthara continued relentlessly. "They've been recruiting. Every human they encounter across dimensions joins their project with what our psychologists describe as disturbing enthusiasm. The current population of the interdimensional zone is approximately 2.3 million humans, all of whom possess what they call the spirit of scientific curiosity and general jackassery." "Surely," squeaked the delegate from Zorblax Prime, "there must be some sensible humans among them?" "We thought so too. Yesterday, we intercepted a transmission from a dimension where humans were apparently more cautious and safety-conscious. We monitored their Dr. Murphy, Dr. Prudent Murphy, as he approached the portal. And, quote, well, this seems inadvisable and potentially catastrophic. I should definitely avoid getting involved." Pause. "On the other hand, I've always wondered what would happen if," end quote. He was through the portal within minutes. The delegate from the hive mind of Zirian buzzed frantically. "What are our options?" Director Kilthara gestured to a tactical display. "We've considered everything. Military intervention is impossible. They've somehow weaponized curiosity and turned it into actual shields. Diplomatic solutions have failed because every negotiation ends with them asking if we want to see something really cool. Economic sanctions are meaningless to people who've figured out how to create matter from pure enthusiasm." "So we're helpless?" Ambassador Zyxthar asked. "Not entirely." Director Kilthara activated one final display. We've made contact with the one force in the multiverse that might be able to stop them. The display showed a single human female, sitting in what appeared to be a kitchen, holding a rolling pin that somehow managed to look threatening despite being used for baking. Who is she? Elder Corvash asked. Dr. Murphy's mother. From every dimension. Apparently, there are some universal constants that transcend dimensional barriers. As if on cue, a transmission came through from the interdimensional zone. The view showed thousands of humans suddenly looking nervous and beginning to clean up their experiments. A voice, multiplied across dimensions but carrying identical authority, echoed through space-time. Murphys, all of you, what in the Sam Hill do you think you're doing out there? The response came as a universal whimper. Nothing, Mom. Don't you nothing on me. I can see the dimensional rifts from here. You have exactly 10 minutes to clean up this mess before I come out there. And so help me, if I have to get the flip-flop. The transmission cut to static. Director Keelthara looked around the chamber. Delegates, I believe we may have found our solution. Within hours, the interdimensional rifts began closing as millions of Murphys across infinite realities hurriedly dismantled their ultimate hold-my-beer machine, united by the one force that could overcome human recklessness, the universal fear of disappointing their mothers. 1 year after what historians would eventually call the Murphy Incident, the Galactic Council had implemented the most comprehensive safety protocol in recorded history. The maternal override protocol had been tested, refined, and deployed across all systems where humans were known to operate. Director Keelthara stood in her new office, a much larger space necessitated by the tripling of her department's size, reviewing the quarterly safety reports. The numbers were encouraging. Human-caused reality distortions down 89%, interdimensional incidents reduced to 0, and only 17 reports of humans attempting to surf various stellar phenomena. Ma'am, Flib announced, having been promoted to Senior Assistant Director of Human Containment Affairs. The monthly council briefing is ready. How many hold-my-beer incidents this quarter? 347 confirmed instances, ma'am. However, all were successfully contained using Protocol Mom 1. Director Keelthara smiled, a rare occurrence that had become more common since the implementation of their new strategy. And the response time? Average deployment of maternal authority units, 4.7 minutes. Average time to compliance after maternal intervention, 1.3 minutes. Excellent. She activated the main display, which showed a galaxy-wide network of stations staffed by human mothers from across the colonies. Each station was equipped with advanced communication arrays, slipper launching systems, and what the humans called the disappointed voice amplifiers. Any resistance? Some initial complaints about cosmic buzzkill, but these were quickly resolved when Station Commander Betty Rodriguez, Dr. Murphy's mother from the original incident, volunteered to personally explain the new regulations to any objectors. Director Keelthara nodded approvingly. Commander Rodriguez had turned out to be a natural at cosmic peacekeeping, combining maternal authority with what she called common sense that apparently skipped my son's generation. Her famous speech to the Andromeda Adventurers Club, "Y'all are gonna sit down, shut up, and think about what you've done," had resulted in the voluntary surrender of 17 different doomsday devices. What about new innovations? Are the humans still being human? Oh yes, ma'am. Just this week, the crew of the Reasonable Assumption developed a new type of faster-than-light drive that actually improves safety ratings by 340%. When asked about it, Captain Jennifer Walsh said she designed it because she was tired of explaining to her mother why she was late for dinner. Remarkable. Maternal motivation seems to be channeling human creativity in surprisingly positive directions. Flib consulted his data pad. There have been some unexpected benefits. The Mars colony's productivity is up 400% after they started broadcasting mom radio, inspirational messages from mothers throughout human space. The asteroid miners stopped trying to spell rude words with mining explosives after Mrs. Chun from Station Gamma 7 gave them what she called a good talking to. Any concerns? Well, ma'am, there is one small issue. The humans have started referring to the galactic government as Space Dad, and keep asking if we're proud of them yet. Director Keelthara considered this. I suppose there are worse things they could call us. Her contemplation was interrupted by an incoming priority alert. Ma'am, we have a situation developing in the outer rim. Human vessel probably fine, is reporting what they describe as a really interesting anomaly that definitely won't cause problems. Deploy the nearest maternal unit. Already en route, ma'am. ETA, 6 minutes. Director Keelthara watched the tactical display as the situation unfolded. The probably fine had indeed discovered something interesting, a naturally occurring wormhole that seemed to pulse with unusual energy patterns. She could practically feel the hold my beer moment building. Then, right on schedule, Station Commander Maria Santos's voice cut through space with the authority of mothers everywhere. Probably fine. This is Station Mom 7. What exactly do you think you're looking at out there? Hi Mom 7. This is Captain Rodriguez, no relation to the famous one. We found this really cool space thing and we were thinking. You were thinking nothing, Mijo. You were about to do something stupid. Turn around and come home. Dinner's getting cold. But Mom 7. This could be a major scientific discovery. Discovery can wait until after you've had a proper meal and thought about it for at least 24 hours. And don't make me come out there. There was a pause. Then, sheepishly, yes, ma'am. Turning around now. Director Keelthara leaned back in her chair as the probably fine obediently changed course for home. Around her, the department continued its work, monitoring, containing, and when necessary, invoking the ultimate authority in human affairs. Flib, she said. Draft a memo to the council. Subject, the Maternal Override Protocol. 6 months of universal peace through proper parenting. Make sure to include the statistics on reduced insurance claims and the complete absence of reality-threatening events. Yes, ma'am. Should I also include the request from the Andromedan Council for their own maternal authority units? Absolutely. Though we should warn them that human mothers come with certain side effects. Such as, they have a tendency to start caring about the welfare of everyone in the galaxy. Last week, Mrs. Patterson from Station Delta 9 arranged a peace treaty between 2 warring systems because they were making too much noise and disturbing the neighbors. Director Keelthara looked out at the stars, where human ships moved with unprecedented care and consideration, their crews mindful that somewhere, a cosmic mother figure was watching and ready to deploy the ultimate sanction. Disappointment. You know, Flib, I never thought I'd say this, but the galaxy is actually becoming a more peaceful place. Yes, ma'am. Though I did receive one concerning report. Oh, the teenage humans are apparently developing their own version of hold my beer. The current phrase appears to be, my mom's not here, so watch this. Director Keelthara felt her eye begin to twitch again. Activate the grandmother protocol. And Flib. Yes, ma'am. Send a message to Earth. We're going to need bigger slippers. As the galaxy settled into an unusual period of stability, enforced by the universal power of maternal authority, one truth had become clear across all civilizations. While humans might be the most reckless species in the universe, they were also the most effectively managed, as long as their mothers were paying attention. And somewhere in the cosmos, the phrase, hold my beer, was still occasionally heard, but now it was invariably followed by a second voice asking, did you clear that with your mother first? The universe, it seemed, had finally learned the secret to managing humanity. Proper supervision and regular meals.